This is going to be a video regarding the book of Enoch and how the sun and the moon work in the sky. When you see the sun and moon in the sky, they are working in relation with each other according to the book of Enoch. And what happens is the sun actually transfers its light into the moon, and then the moon grows a portion of light and then transfers it back into the sun and recharges the sun. I'm going to prove that here in the book of Enoch, and it starts off in chapter 72. Let's look at this book. Okay, we got these. This is the book of the courses of the luminaries of heaven right here. The relations of each other. Now, the luminaries are the sun and moon, and they have relations with each other according to the book of Enoch. Okay, and what they're going to do is they want to tell you what their names are and what their duties are in the what you see. Now the first one here, and the first goes forth the great luminary named the sun, and his circumference is like the circumference of heaven, and he is quite filled with illuminating heating fire. Illuminating heating fire. Okay, that's what the sun is filled with. Okay, the chariot on which he ascends, the wind drives, and the sun goes down from heaven and returns through the north order to reach the east, and so it is guided that he comes to the appropriate portal. Okay, so when you look at this, what it's telling you is the sun is driven by wind, but it's a chariot that drives it. Here, look at this other version right here. The wagon on which he ascends are driven by the wind. Okay, so when you see the sun, this is a machine that is driven by the wind, but it's on a chariot. But what you see is you just see a illuminating orb in the sky, or something that's heating the earth. You don't know what it is, but it is driven by a chariot according to the book of Enoch, and it goes through portals. Okay, I'm not going to get into the portals right now, but there's 6 portals. If you look at you have to look at a map like this. I know they want to tell you the earth is round, or a ball, but that's not what you see. Here's a portal of the sun and moon, and if you notice, the sun and moon are across from each other. That's where the charging and the transferring takes place. And this is called a portal, and it runs around the portal. Now this sun will back up, and it'll be a portal here now, and then it will go back there. So there's 6 portals altogether that this sun travels on. Okay, and that's all in the book of Enoch, but I can't get into portals right now. I just want to show you how the sun and moon, one charges the other, and this is what I want to show you in this book. Okay, so now when you look at this book, it says its appearance right here. Let's go down here. Its appearance according to right here. Its appearance according to the Lord commanded, as he rises, so he sets and decreases not, and rests not, but runs day and night, and his light is 7-fold brighter than that of the moon, but as regard size, they are both equal. Now here, look, the dimensions of both equal. These are dimensions. They're not going to tell you that, oh, when you look in the sky, they both appear equal. No, the dimensions are equal according to the book of Enoch. Okay, and the sun is 7-fold brighter. It has a light. Even though it's illuminating fire, the sun, it has a light. And that light is 7-fold brighter than of the moon, according to the book of Enoch right here, 7-fold brighter. Okay. Now, what happens? Let's see. Now, before we get in there, I wanted to show you that chapter 77 tells you about I saw 7 high mountains right here. Now, I saw 7 high mountains higher than the mountains which are on the earth. Okay. So he's seeing 7 high mountains which are higher than the earth. Well, the earth, this is the land that we know, okay, for man. This is the land that we know for man. Now he sees, they take him, and he saw all these 7 lands, and he saw the place, a third part that contained the garden of righteousness. Okay, he saw these places, but they took him here. I just wanted to go show you that what he saw, and what he exactly saw is when he saw these 7 mountains. The 7 mountains are land masses. Okay, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are the things he saw when he. This is not man's land. Okay, man's land is in here. Okay, they took him and they showed him 7 mountains, but they want to show you the 7 mountains. And there's a reason why they show you, or they tell you about these mountains, but that is not what. That's just a secondary thing that Enoch tells you in these chapters here. But this is the chapters. This is where it all happens right here. When you go to chapter 78. Okay, now let's look at it real closely, because you have to read this real closely. And the names of the sun are the following, or Yares. He's telling you the names of the sun, that they call these names of the sun. And the moon has 4 names, and you'll hear these names, and you see these names throughout Scripture. These are also the names of these suns. Now, you can use any one of these names. So these are the 2 great luminaries. Their circumference is like the circumference of the heaven, and the size of the circumference are both alike. Here you go again. It's telling you the dimensions are both equal. Here's another chapter telling you dimensions right here. They're both equal. So when they tell you anything, so if you're going to see this book, the book of Enoch was part of the Bible. They removed this book. And they told you that the sun is 93 million miles away. They told you that the moon is 25,000 miles away, and they just happen to be both the same size. That's what they'll tell you. But no, the dimensions here are alike. They're the same. Okay, now in the circumference of the sun, there are 7 portals of light. Okay, so the sun is 7 times more light than the moon. We know that. The other chapter said it. So it's telling you again. Okay, now there in the circumference of the sun, there are 7 portions of light which are added to it more than to the moon. So there, what it's telling you is light gets added to the sun. Okay, so light is added. The relations are together. The light's going to be added to the sun, and also it adds to the moon, but it goes back and forth. Okay, now, and it says, all right, and more than the moon. So it's got more light, of course, because this is only it's 1/7 of what the moon's light is. Okay, now, and in definite measures, okay, it is transferred until the 7th portion of the sun is exhausted. So the 7th portion of the sun, that's one of these portions, 1/7 portion is exhausted. Now that light is transferred to the moon. Okay, that light is transferred to the moon. Okay, now let's keep reading. And they set and enter the portals of the west and make their revolutions by the north. And so they're going around the north. So their revolutions are going around the north, because the north is whatever is in the north. They show you the North Pole. They show you that there's a black rock in the North Pole. I'll go back on these maps. I mean, this is the north. You know, when you look at these maps, there's the North Pole, okay, and the sun and moon are going around here. So the order is around the north. So their order is around the north. What they're telling you, they have an order that goes around the north, okay, and that can't be broken, okay. And right here, and when the moon rises on the 14th part appears when the moon rises on 14th part appears in the heaven, the light becomes full in her. Okay, so the light becomes full in her. So on the 14th day, right here, on the 14th day, she accomplishes her light. I was referring to the moon. Okay, now everything is accomplished on the 14th day. So when the light is transferred, right here, it is transferred. It's telling you, and 15 parts of light are transferred to her until the 15th day. Okay, when the light is accomplished. Now the light is accomplished. Okay, on the 14th day she accomplished her light. But now there's one more day. It's the 15th day. Okay, she becomes 15 parts. And the moon grows by the addition of the 14th. So it gets its 14th. It gets its 14th portion, but it grows. See right here? It grows by one extra part. Okay, this one extra part. And then when it grows one extra part, then it, in turn, then it is that it is full. It is full in the sky. And then it's going to start to wane. Okay, it's going to start to wane. When now the moon, just like it said, the moon is going to, when the light is added to the sun, the light are added, it's going to start adding light. But when it adds light, now what happens here is it grew by an addition. Okay, now the moon wanes, and what happens when it wanes? It actually charges back. It goes back into, it's added back into the sun. So 15 parts are added back into the sun and when the 15 parts are added back in the sun, then it depletes the sun. I mean, it depletes the moon. Okay, and that's a cycle that happens. And if you read here, it happens every 30 days. And look at here, it says, night she appears like man for 20 days, and each time, and by the day she appears, like the heaven, and there's nothing else in her except her light. Save her light means except light. See, except it's light. So when you see the sun charge the moon is light. So when there's people that say, it's a plasma, well, they know it's just light. These are machines that work in relation with each other. One charges the other. And then it grows. Then what happens is the moon grows by one part of light, and then it transfers it back into the sun. That's how the sun, they're machines that are driven by chariots, which are wagons, which are driven by the wind. So how these got here, who put these here, is that's another question. That's another question. But if you think that, this is just a random thing, no, it's not a random thing. According to the book of Enoch, one charges the other, and then it depletes, and the cycle goes 30 days. It does it all over again. So that's how the sun never loses its full charge, because it uses the moon. Okay, and that's what's in the book of Enoch, according to what the sun and moon, and how the sun, and they're both the same size, how one charges the other. So when you can say whatever, the sun is 93 million miles away. It's just a ball of gas burning up there, and the sun, when you see the moon, that light from the moon, oh, that's just a reflection. That's moon dust glowing. I mean, this is what they're going to tell you, but not according to the book of Enoch. Okay, because the biggest lie that they taught you, okay, the biggest lie according to the book of Enoch is the lie of the globe Earth. That is the biggest lie the book of Enoch ever taught you. And that's what destroys man to this day. If you look at these verses, that's what I have another video regarding this lie that they told you. And this lie, it goes way back. This lie of a globe Earth, it's not something that they came up with. It goes all the way back to the book of Enoch and what they were taught. And right here, and they were taught right here the course of the moon. Okay, they were taught the course of the moon, and they were taught astrology right here. They say astrology. Okay, they want to say they taught astrology, but it was astronomy right here. See, look, they taught astronomy. When you teach astrology and astronomy, men will be destroyed right here and cry. Okay, so this is the biggest lie, and they corrupted all their ways. And this is the biggest one right here, and it's astronomy, astrology, and the stars and what you see. They taught this lie way back when. That's how come we have this lie. But Enoch had to set the record straight and tell you how it really works, because it's a big deal. It's a big deal because it's everything. Once you understand where you're at, you're not on a spinning ball, and it's not by chance. That's the key. That's why when you read the book of Enoch, you start to learn these things. I've read a lot of things. I learned a lot of things. My father before me on earth here, my father, I'm talking about where I came from. He studied this book of Enoch when it never was nobody. I never, when I was just a kid, and I was raised on the book of Enoch, and I learned what my father taught me about the book of Enoch, and it's this book is will unlock a lot of secrets. So thanks for watching, and I'll be making more. Thanks.